know, I'm really nervous about this video because it's really weird talking about my life. Like, I just struggled talking about my novel. Like, I hate talking about things that I'm doing or things that are going on in my life because I just feel so awkward doing it. I'm just like, and I rush to get out. Like, blah, 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 blah. And I just need to calm down. Take it one bit at a time. Just breathe. I just feel weird talking about myself. Original. I am Rose, as you should know by now, or if you don't, hello, I am Rose and welcome back. So I'm just looking at my notes then. Like, I feel like this is my default now, like what's going on in my notes. But, so that's a way to open up the video, isn't it? So, first things first, back to review videos, book review videos next week. It will be like the takeaways and like inspirations that I've gotten from the books that I've read. The first book, I think it's going to be Where Hope Comes From. I'll double check on my notes because it's written somewhere, but I think it's Where Hope Comes From by Nikita Gill. My absolute fave, the queen of poetry in my opinion, but that's my opinion. But anyway, we're just going to go straight into what this video is about, and I'm just going to be talking through some of the highlights of what happened in the 3-year gap of when I last posted a video. I think that was back in 2018 to the present day, kind of, sort of. So I'm just going to be taking it year by year. So hi, I'm just filming. I'm just filming.
Oh, okay.
That was my flatmate. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to be taking it year by year. I might be talking a little bit of what's happened in 2022, but you've already kind of seen what's happened in 2022. So it'll be like from halfway from 2018 to halfway from 2021 when I came back to YouTube. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And apologies, I might have to look at my notes a lot of the time because apparently I cannot function without notes at the moment. So yeah, let's get into it. So back in 2018, I was finishing up on my BA degree in film with the University of South Wales. I graduated with a upper second class honours, woo. I'll see if I can put a little picture of my graduation and photo up in the video, but yes, I graduated. It was very daunting. I wanted to get off that stage as soon as possible. I was literally just wanting to like go. I just shook the hand and I was like, bye, I'm off. And I even only invited one person to my graduation, and that was my dad, because I just get I felt like if I invited one more person there would be more of a cheer in my name, and I'm just like, no, I want to go. I want to go. Like, there were people clapping, but like, you know, I felt like if I invited more people, they'd be like, woo! And I was like, no. Get me off this stage. So yeah, I graduated, and through my last year of uni as well, I decided I wanted to do a master's degree in creative writing because I felt like I was so much like organising and producing my graduation film. I felt like I lost my writing niche sort of thing. So I really wanted to get back into creative writing, and what better way than to do a master's degree and get another degree out of it. So yeah, I ended up going to York St John University in York, and obviously that's a long way from Cardiff, so I think that's like 4 hours away from Cardiff and 4 hours away from my hometown as well. So I packed up and I moved to York, and I was so honestly, I was so nervous, but at the same time I was so excited. And by this point I've moved so much in my life that it was kind of nothing. Like, I know it's like 4 hours away, like Cardiff was only like one and a half hour away from my hometown, so this was a big leap. But I don't know, I just felt so used to moving around so much. I was like, oh, there's nothing, no, I'll be fine. And I was just excited for the new chapter in my life. I felt this was something new and fresh. And I moved into another student accommodation, and that went alright. So yeah, I moved to North Yorkshire, to be Pacific, to do my master's degree in creative writing. And through that I met the most amazing people, 3 of which are my close friends. Okay, so 2 of the girls that that are my close friends, I'll see if I can put a picture of us on our graduation day. Both of them are named Amy. And I got, like, it was so confusing because I had to keep saying their long names, like so and so, like their name with their last name, so I wouldn't get them confused, and I wouldn't get them confused. And towards the end, I just gave them nicknames that related to their last names, so that I can like just identify which Amy I was talking to. So yeah, and how we met as well was so weird as well, because we were going to an postgraduate like sort of discussion thing. It was like a meet greet thing with all like the MA degree students in one room. And I came in and I sat down, and I sat down to this girl wait a minute, I sat down, I didn't, because Amy, Stewie as I call her, Stewie was on to the left of me, and she was talking to someone else who was a part of our MA degree as well, who was in the table in front. So I didn't want to disturb them, so I just kept to myself. I was like, and then another girl, which was Craigie Amy, the other Amy, came to the right side of me and sat down on the right side of me, and I was like, okay, I'm here to try and make friends. So I just turned to her, I was like, hi, how are you? And she was like, hi, I'm good, how are you? And then we just got into discussion, and I found out she was on the creative writing course, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Oh, like, we're going to be co-students, this is amazing. And we just kind of talked for a bit, and then I don't know who overheard me, if it was Stewie or the person that she was talking to, but they heard that we were talking about our creative writing course, and they turned to us and said, oh, are you doing creative writing too? And I was like, oh yeah, we are, like, small world. And then I asked for the girl who was beside me, Stewie, her name, and her name was Amy as well. And I was like, oh, this is going to get very confusing. Like, they were both sides of me, and I was just like, okay, this is going to be confusing. And then eventually we sort of formed like a really strong friendship between the 3 of us. And then eventually Matthew came into our little friendship circle, and like he sort of came into it halfway through. Like he was lovely to talk to before, but then he's really like, we kind of like adopted him into our group eventually. We're like, Matthew, you're with us. But honestly though, everyone on the course was so lovely. Like there was Andy, Colin. It was just like we all went to drinks together. It was so, like, it was kind of like a family between us. We even keep in contact on a big group chat, and we just like, it was like a big family with all of us, and we were just, it was such an amazing experience comparison to my undergraduate degree, which I still think was good, but there was something more belonging with this kind of group of people, and I loved it. And you know, that year of doing that MA degree was amazing, and I wish I could go back to it, and I'm actually thinking of going back to it in the future. But yeah, it was just an amazing experience. And while this was going on, I also had another retail job, and to be honest with you, if I had the choice, I probably would have stayed in that retail job as long as I could. And I stayed in it for like 2.5 years. And I probably would have stayed with them if I was able to get more hours, but unfortunately I wasn't. So I had to get a new job eventually. But the retail job that I had was just added to the amazing first year that I lived here in York, and it made me want to stay after my degree was done. So that like pushes us into 2019. I'm gonna flip over my notes now. So I graduated from York St John with my master's degree with a merit, and I am extremely proud of it because I've just come a long way from when I was like 11 years old and told with my dyslexia I wouldn't get past an age 10 reading level. So now to be graduating with a master's in a merit master's in the creative writing sphere, it was just so amazing. So I'm really proud of myself. Like I'm not even like upset that I didn't get a distinction. I'm really proud of my merit because it just shows how long I've come, how far I've come, I mean. Yeah, and then I during this time as well, I met Caroline, as you briefly heard, my flatmate. We met in like a group support thing, and we just got to talking and we became friends, and then we found out each one of us is looking for a place to live after we move out of our student accommodations. So we were just like, hey, why don't we live together? And we found the flat that we both loved, and we just moved in together around like, I think it was like June 2019, and we still live together now, so everything was going okay, I suppose. We haven't killed each other yet. And then throughout 2019 as well, I tried to save money to start traveling as well, but that's extremely hard when I wasn't getting like fantastic hours at work, which is why I eventually had to get a new job. But I decided like at the end of my MA degree, I really wanted to travel, because throughout the ages of probably 8 to 24 by the time I graduated from a master's degree, I have been in non-stop education, and I just really wanted to travel. I really wanted to see the world, so I started trying to slowly save up. And I'm just looking at my notes, and around that time I got into my tarot cards as well, and I started with the Wild Unknown tarot card deck, and I actually really loved that, and I still really love it too, but I eventually moved on. But we'll get into that in the future if I ever talk about my tarot cards and my Wiccan faith. But yeah, I got into tarot cards in 2019, and I actually, through my MA degree as well, I started writing the novel that I'm working on today, which I didn't do it for my dissertation, but then I remembered this, but then I decided not to go forward with my dissertation work and decided to go to this work that I used for another module of the course, and I expanded it, and now I'm still working on it today. So through that MA degree, some really good stuff came out of it, and I'm so proud of it. So now we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, which is 2020. 2020. So to get a grasp on what was going on at the beginning of 2020, so I had cut some people out of my life that I decided it wasn't, our relationships that I had with these people weren't healthy either side. Like, I was probably not really healthy for them, and they weren't probably very healthy for me, and it was making this toxic environment. Like, I don't think any of us were bad people in the situation, but we just had mixture of views, and we had mixture of events in our lives that I didn't think we could really recover from. So I had to be like, you know what, I can't do this anymore, and I just kind of cut them out of my life. So that set the tone for 2020, and then I don't really set the tone, I don't know. And then I also went through really intense therapy at the same time. I went through EMDR therapy, and that was actually during the first lockdown of 2020 that I did that, and it was really intense, but it was really beneficial at the same time. So that So that happened at the same time as 2020. But before the first lockdown and before all that happened, I was fully intending to travel, and I did travel. I went to Amsterdam, and I went there on my own. It was my first solo trip, and it was so amazing. Like, I learned so much about myself and about the world, and I was just like, oh, God, this is what it feels like to really be free. This is what it feels like to fully immerse yourself in life. And I was so excited to travel more and like go to Greece, go to Germany, go to Brussels. Like, I wanted to go everywhere. And then lockdown, COVID happened, and yeah. And even before lockdown, I had like things in place as well. Like, I got on a new job. It was another retail job, and that was going to pay me more so that I could save up to travel more. You know, everything was going well, and then lockdown happened, and you know, the world went into utter chaos, and I was just like, oh dear, this is not my year. But to be fair though, this is the thing about me. I come off as very extroverted, but I'm really introverted. Like, I would rather stay at home sometimes than go out to a club and party. And so the lockdowns were not really, I think the only lockdown that really affected me the most, I think it was the November lockdown really that it affected me the most, but that's mainly because my mental health goes down around November, so being locked inside, not going to the gym and work out all my emotions, really, that's what really made me struggle. But throughout the first lockdown, I was just like chilling. And I was making TikToks, like I had literally so many TikToks I made throughout the first lockdown, it was insane. But yeah, I actually worked on my novel a little bit, but I had to stop at one point because it was really draining on my mental health, because there was this one particular scene that just made me very like triggered, if you could say, and I had to stop for a bit. But yeah, so it was not a whole lot happened in 2020. Like, I went to Amsterdam, I got a new job, but I didn't really do a lot of that job in 2020 because we were in lockdown and it wasn't like an essential job. And I did lots of TikToks, did more novel writing, because I did a lot of novel writing throughout just November when we were in lockdown, so that was good. But yeah, there's like literally my notes are just like, yeah, just did this and that. Not a lot in 2020 because there was not a lot to do. And then that takes us to 2021. I flipped over my notebook again. Voila! So 2021 started off with a good way because I got a new job in 2021. I only stayed in my previous retail job for 1 year max because it wasn't a great shop to work for. Like, the previous one that I stayed for 2.5 years, that was a brilliant experience. That was the best retail workplace environment I've ever experienced, and then this one that followed was not so great. So yeah, I really wanted to get out of retail after that, and after everything that happened with COVID and everything like that, I really wanted to do a job that made a difference, that actually helped people instead of just asking people if they wanted a 10p bag. I applied for a job working as a home care assistant, and I eventually got hired by a company, and that's what I've been doing for the last year and a half now, working as a home care assistant and just helping mainly elderly people live independently in their homes, which is really good. Like, obviously there's been some like ups and downs with the job, but honestly it's really rewarding in the end because you just meet these amazing people and you help them in any way that they need, and I think that's just amazing. So yeah, I got a job in that, though unfortunately halfway through the year my mental health did take a turn, like it was declining a bit, and I had to take 2 weeks of sick leave, which I have never done before, and it was like it was really bad. Like, for me to get 2 weeks sick leave off, it was kind of a big deal. And I just, yeah, I have gotten better. I went to counselling again, and I went to anxiety management classes, which really did help me a lot. and yeah, it just gave me a new perspective on life through that. And I've slowly just started to save up to travel again, because the savings that I managed to do went downhill. And then in 2021, I finished the first draft of my novel, which I was so proud about. I did it before my birthday. There was a 1 month in July, I literally crammed all writing in because I wanted to get it done before my birthday to celebrate. And I did, and I was really proud of myself. And then I also returned to YouTube, as you well know. And then I also started doing more tarot, and I went to tarot card classes, and I've gone and I'm doing tarot now by the White Rider, is it called? Yeah, the original deck, which has been really good. I am slowly getting better at reading tarot cards, and I'm really into it, and yeah, don't know what else to say. Overall thoughts, I'm really proud of how far I've come. Like, there have been hiccups here and there, and there have been really bad struggles and life-changing choices that I've had to make over the last 3 years, but I think it's all put me in the path that I need to be on, and it's really pushed to challenge myself, yeah, I'm looking at my notes again to see what I wrote. I feel like these last three years as well have really showed me as well that how capable I am, because one of the things that my mental health declines for is because I just don't think I'm capable, and I just don't think I'm strong enough to do these things. And when I look back, it's like, even though it's always really weird for me to talk about things that have happened in my life, but at the same time, when I do actually talk about it, I do have this sense of pride, like, hey, I have shown multiple times I'm plenty capable enough, no matter what anyone says or thinks. And it doesn't matter what anyone says, I believe in me, and I know I can do this. And I have done it, and I'm going to do it again and again, and people are going to keep on underestimating me, and I'm going to be like, well, good luck with that, I'm just going to go and do it then. But yeah, don't know what else to say. Like, things are going good, but there are still things that I need to work on at the same time. You know, life is a work in progress. So to end this video, it's back to book reviews next week, and I do think it's Where Hope Comes From by Nikita Gill, so you can see me gushing over Nikita Gill again. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye!